Hey guys, welcome to the coffee chat for this week. I'm drinking today out of a heart mug. So, yep, it's got lots of hearts on it, and my mom gave it to me, I think it was my mom, for Valentine's Day one year. So, yeah, we have a heart mug. Yay. Coffee. So, I think I only had like one or two questions last week. So this one may be very, very short. So let's go ahead and, I'm very ill prepared for this for this video, but let's go ahead and look at the questions and see what we can talk about. One question, and I actually answered it in a comment, and I probably shouldn't have, but I did anyway. But one question was from JJ Bonsig, and I had been talking about my job where I work at a library, and JJ asked, has anyone ever asked you to help them find a book by its color? And no. Not really, but you see, when I started working there at the library and I was being trained on the information desk, my boss, supervisor, whatever, told me that occasionally you may get someone coming up to the desk to ask you where the red books are. So the red books are like an advertising thing. So if you're like looking at advertising, you would probably know what the red books are. So yeah, I was warned that I might be asked, where are the red books? And she showed me exactly where they were. She was like, okay, well, they're right here. So if anyone asks for them, that's easy. So yeah, that's the only time that I can think of that I've been asked for one by color. I have personally myself looked for one with a certain thing on the cover, because one day, not too long after I started working there, I found a book about risk allocation, and there was a picture of a ferret on the front of it. I think it was a ferret, and it just always intrigued me that it was a book about risk allocation with a ferret on the cover. So occasionally I'll go try to find that book again, and I found it before, but yeah, I can never remember the exact name of it. I can just remember what the subject is. So yeah, weird. I don't know why. It just always intrigued me. Because why was that ferret on the cover? I don't understand. I don't understand. Now, one of my friends that I told said that maybe it's because it's risky to own a ferret, but I don't think that's the reason. Oh, man. Okay, so yeah, no one has really asked me to help find a book by its color. So the only other question I have is from Dan, and it is, what do you think is the best superpower to have? Flight, teleportation, mind reading, invisibility, etc. Anything you can think of. Which one would you pick and why? And then he has a little asterisk that says no cheating. You're not allowed to pick something like Sylar's from Heroes. That's what I go for if the rule is not specified. So honestly, it's been so long since I saw Heroes, and I only watched like the first season and maybe a little bit of the second, but I don't know, it started going downhill really fast. So I can't really remember what Sylar's superpower is, but I think it's like he absorbs the powers of the superheroes that he kills or something. I can't remember. Anyway, so yeah, I would never pick that anyway because you would have to kill people to, that's Dan. Why would you even pick that? Okay, so I have always thought that the power of flight would be really cool because you can fly anywhere. But a lot of it depends on, are you the only person with superpowers? And do people know that you have that superpower? So I had to stop for a second because Kevin came home with the dog and they were being very, very noisy. So I can't remember what I was saying. I've always thought that flight would be really cool because, you get to fly and that would be amazing. But the thing is, if you're flying around, people are going to see you flying around, and that's going to be really, really weird, especially if you're the only person with superpowers. And they're going to see you flying around, and they're going to know that you have superpowers, which comes with any of these, honestly, because teleportation, somebody's going to see you teleport somewhere, unless you have a specific location that, you teleport, like, into a broom closet or something. Somebody's going to see you. Someone is bound to see you. And, yeah. So, it would have to be in a world where people knew that you had this superpower, or you wouldn't be able to even use it without being caught. Mind reading, you might be able to get away with it a little easier, but I don't think I would want to read people's minds. Yeah, that seems like a bad idea. I guess it would be okay if you could turn it off, but if you can't turn it off and you're hearing everybody's thoughts at all times, that would be way too much. Invisibility, I don't know. I don't really see much point in invisibility unless you were going to be like a bank robber or something, you know? I don't see how that's really gonna help you. There aren't very many places that I would want to go that I would want to be invisible, except maybe the beach. Yeah. So that might be nice for that. But if you're invisible, does that mean that your clothes are also going to be invisible? Or are you going to be walking around invisible clothes? And it's just going to be, you know, a pair of pants walking around. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. And also, if your clothes are visible still, that means you're going to have to be naked. And you're going to walk around, and how does this invisibility work? Are you going to suddenly become visible again, and you're going to be naked in front of a crowd? Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea either. So, honestly, all superpowers are terrible. I mean, it would probably be good if you had, like, really great, like, healing properties. Like, you could heal yourself, like Wolverine. That would be nice, but does that help with, like, cancer and things like that? And if you can automatically heal yourself, does that mean that you can never die? I wouldn't want to be immortal. That would just be weird. So yeah, I mean, what else is there? Let's see, you could be able to conjure ice or conjure fire, but don't really see how that's helpful in everyday life unless, you know, you really need to cool somebody's drink down or you need to light the fireplace. But yeah. So it's really hard for me to choose one, but if I had to choose a superpower, I would choose teleportation, because I think that that is probably the most useful one that you could have, because you could just teleport back and forth to work. I would never have to drive again, and I absolutely hate driving. So if I never had to drive again, that would be wonderful. The thing is, there have to be some kind of restrictions. And that means if you're teleporting around everywhere, like I said, people are going to see it. People are going to notice when somebody just pops up out of thin air. So you're going to have to, you know, people are going to have to know. And if people know that you can just teleport around, then you know you're going to have a couple of people that are going to be like, you know, I kind of wanted to go to the beach this weekend, or I really wanted to go to this place, and I was wondering if you could just teleport me there. So yeah, it's kind of like when you win the lottery or something and people just come out of the woodwork and they want your help with things. That's probably what would happen, especially if they know that you can teleport, like side along teleport. And there's also the question of can you teleport anywhere, or does it have to be a place that you've already been before? Like, for instance, with me, could I teleport to Italy because I've been to Italy, and I could just teleport to Venice or to Florence or to Siena or to Rome at, you know, any time. And yeah, is that possible? I don't know. Because I would think that you would have had to have been there at some point before to, you know, remember what everything looks like and know a good place to actually teleport there. The easiest place would be like teleporting from your home to work and back home or whatever, which is probably what I would use it for. Or to teleport to like see my grandparents, or to see, you know, my mom or my dad, or, you know, friends around the world. See, that would be a great one for like to go see all of my friends. I would probably want to teleport into places that I shouldn't, places that I should have to pay for. So could you just teleport into a concert that you wanted to see? Or could you teleport into Disney World or Six Flags or whatever without having to pay? See, that's where you get into problems, because you're supposed to be paying to get into these places, but I don't want to, but that's not a good thing to just teleport into them. So yeah, it's I don't know, it's really a strange thing to think of. But still, after all of that, teleportation is probably the one I would go with because it seems to have the best, it seems to be the most convenient, I guess. Because what could I do with flight? I could fly around, I could fly to work, but that's just strange. Mind reading. No, I just don't want that one at all, and I don't want invisibility at all. It would have to be between like flight and teleportation. There are probably some other good ones, like I said, the healing powers thing, but I don't know how that would work. So yeah, teleportation is probably the one that I would choose. And I think that, yeah, you would have some stipulations on it. Like you would have to, you would have to have been to the place before. Like I could teleport to the Grand Canyon because I've been to the Grand Canyon, but I couldn't teleport to like Yellowstone National Forest because I've never been there. Things like that. So you would have to have been there first. And I could teleport to Boston or to Washington, D.C. The thing about it, though, also with teleportation is, sure, you might have the perfect place to teleport or what you think is the perfect place to teleport. But what happens if somebody just happens to be standing in that place? When you teleport, are you gonna, like, make them explode? Because you're just popping into that spot where they are, into that space? That doesn't sound like a good idea. Or what if, you thought you had the perfect place, but now there's a building that's there and you're going to teleport into that building and you might suffocate in a wall. It's like in Minecraft. You have to be very careful where you TP. So, I mean, there are so many bad things that could go wrong with that. But still, that's probably the one I would choose. Just so that I wouldn't have to drive to work every day. Yeah. Anyway, I've talked for like 10 minutes about superpowers, so I should probably stop. I didn't think this one was going to be that long, but obviously it is. Okay, so I don't really have a lot else to talk about, but I do have two little topics. So the first is, and I didn't even have this one until a few minutes ago when Kevin came home, but I didn't realize this, but he said he went by Starbucks through the drive-thru and he had Wilson with him. So he got up to the window, he ordered his drink, and they asked if he also wanted a puppuccino. I've never heard of this before, but apparently they saw the dog in the car with him and asked if he wanted a puppuccino for the dog. And basically a puppuccino, because he was like, yeah, I guess. A puppuccino is like a little cup filled with whipped cream. And that's all it is. But, yeah, so Wilson got a puppuccino today, and apparently he really liked it. Why did they have this? I don't know, but I think it's absolutely adorable, so... So thanks, Starbucks, you have, like, made my day today just for having a puppuccino. And I don't know if it's, like, a chain-wide kind of thing, or if it's just the one here and somebody came up with it, but it's probably, like, all over. But I just thought that was freaking adorable. I can't even. It's so cute. So yeah, puppuccino. So, as you saw, heart cup. I have no more coffee in it because, yeah, it's been a while since I started this video. But yeah, I'm drinking out of a heart mug today because Valentine's Day is Tuesday. So I normally ask you guys to send me questions, but today I'm asking you a question. What are your Valentine's Day plans? I, for one, don't really have plans other than to sit around probably in some sweatpants, eating pizza rolls and drinking wine, and maybe playing some Skyrim or... who knows, Stardew Valley or Minecraft or whatever. If my friends are around, I'm probably going to be playing with them, but if not, who knows, I may stream. I don't know, I don't really have any specific plans, but if you do have plans, let me know what they are. And if not, and I do stream, you guys can come join me and be my Valentines, because, yeah, I don't have one this year. So I guess that's it for this coffee chat. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments below and I will get to them next week. And yeah, and if you want to answer what your superpower would be in the comments and tell me what your Valentine's Day plans are, that would be great. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Bye! But still, even with all of that transportation, I don't know, it seems to have the most I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Woo! But yeah, I'm drinking out of a cup mug. Cup mug? But yeah, I'm cup mug.